चैट में देंगे, चैट में दे दीजिएगा. Hello everyone, how are you? I think we are live now. Yes, we are live. How are you guys? A very good morning to all of you. Hi Pooja, Tanu, Charu, Nagari, how are you? Hi Lucy, a very happy morning to you as well. Hi Nitya, hi Sushi. How is it going? How is everyone? I think the temperatures are rising now, right? Thand kam ho rahi hai. The winters are going. Is it the same for your city? The winters are going away, or is it still very cold? How is it? Hey Hina, hi Tulsi, hi Meman, Riya, Harsh, Disha, Shakti, Rakesh, Ananya. Wonderful to see you guys joining in so early, being so punctual. Awesome. Good to see so many people. So I'm asking, how is your city doing? Is it still cold? Is it like a little warmer now, or is it still very cold? How is it for you guys there? For me, the temperature has started rising. थोड़ा सा. The winters are like इतनी ठंड नहीं है. That is why you see me taking off my jackets and everything. Right? Oh, so there is rain. Charu says there is rain. Riya says there is rain. Pooja says yes. Oh, winters are also going in Ahmedabad, right? Haridwar is raining today. Tanu says still very cold. Okay. What about others? Before we start chapter 7 today, let us just talk a little about things around us, and then we'll get into the chapter as well. Chapter to easy hai. I think chapter 7 is from what we have been studying in chapter 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, chapter 7 तो बहुत easy है उसके हिसाब से. It's really relatively very easy. We'll do a lot of interactive questions today. I will not be taking the quiz thing, but I will be asking random questions from different chapters to you. We'll draw something on the screen and we'll solve those things. Oh, Harsh says it's raining. Shakti says winter is ending. Foggy in Bhubaneswar, okay. Temperature is rising at Nagpur. Wonderful. Nagpur में ठंड कहाँ होती है? Nagpur is always a pleasant weather is what I understand. That is right, Nitya. Chennai is never cold, probably. That is the best part. But in summers, you will have to go through a lot of pain in Chennai, right? I've been to Chennai. I've been to Marina Beach also there. Gloomy in Kolkata. Okay, so Kolkata is always gloomy, very near to the coast, right? It's always gloomy. There is very less sunshine in Kolkata, is what I understand, right? Right. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my bad. I have lost the track. I'm sure we have to do chapter 6 also. I think I lost that track probably. Just give me 1 second. मैं chapter 7 की ही PPT खोल दी. I have lost track already, right? There is something wrong with me. I've lost the entire track. Let me see. I think I need to sleep more because we are still left with chapter 6. Yes, Pooja, we are still left with chapter 6. And we have to do that as well. Chapter 6 पे ही जाएंगे. We'll do chapter 6 only and then we'll come to chapter 7. I'm lost, okay? No worries, but oh, it's sunny there. Delhi is a little warm and that is right. Oh, it was sunny until yesterday. Now, since winter is going, it will rain some days. That is right. That is right. Let us go to chapter 6. Aapka, right? Hmm. We did chapter 6. Correct. बिल्कुल सही. That is right. Cool. Okay. So we would be doing from financial strategy, right? अरे फिर से पूरा खुलेगा कोई नहीं. Let's go to that very quickly. Mhm. Hmm. So any questions from the last session, please? I think I'm taking a lot of time today, but I really want to have a very clear interactive session, right? And I was a little lost. Now I'm back on track. Any questions, any doubts, any concept that is not clear, we'll take 5 minutes in the beginning only, right? आप किसी का भी chapter, from any chapter, any question or doubt from any chapter that is still lingering in your mind that you think इसमें clarity चाहिए, I need more clarity on a particular concept, we'll just take another 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes to answer those questions, to understand. Your questions might help everyone. So don't be afraid to ask questions because aapka question might, some of the people might not be wanting to ask a question, but your question might help them as well. So be free, ask any doubts and questions that you have before we go on to the next strategy. Oh, perfect, perfect. Puja says no doubt. What about others? Quickly, tell me very quickly. I don't want to waste time. Then, if there are no doubts, nothing like it. It's super good that there are no doubts. But very quickly, tell me. You remember we did all this net worth wala and everything we did in the last class. Net worth and everything. We discussed about this net worth and valuations and market determination value, competition, say, right? Cool. I think there are no doubts. So let us quickly get into our production strategy. Let us very quickly start with the production strategy. But I have a question for you. Okay. Now, what are we studying right now? Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So there's a question in second approach of financial strategy. 5 times of annual profit is an estimation. Absolutely, Chad. Absolutely. That's a best case estimation from the market, right? It's valuations are majorly based on assumptions only, right? Valuation to assumption based पे ही होती है, but it is the best case estimate that the company takes, right? It is not like एकदम exorbitant. If you're watching Shark Tank, right? आप अगर Shark Tank देख रहे हैं, so what is happening? People come and ask for a lot of money. So what they say, we make 1 crore per year and the company is for 50 crores. They are taking 50 times the value. They're valuing. But then when the sharks give them offer, they say, "Nay, we will only value the company at 4 or 5 crores," right? So look at that. They just measuring it at 5 times while the person is measuring it at 50 times. Everything is based on assumptions. Everything is based on assumptions because the most suitable and the most logical assumption is what we generally take in valuations, right? Most logical and most the multiple that makes the most sense. Okay, absolutely. Thanks, Pooja. We are studying functional level strategies, right? हमने business level कर लिया. We did corporate level. We did business level. Now we are studying up functional level strategies. Wherein we are talking about production strategy today. Okay. Very quick question from Disha as well. Value chain analysis. Very quickly, I'll explain. I think बहुत लोगों को get this doubt. What is value chain analysis? Value chain analysis, Disha, in simple words, is you have primary activities, you have supporting activities, right? Primary आपका production हो गया, your sales, your finance, your marketing, right? Supporting is your technology, your in-house production and everything. When you combine all the activities of a business, to add value to the customer, right? To add value to the customer is ready to pay more money, right? And that more money is your extra profit. That is value chain analysis. When you combine all your activities in the most effective way and add value to the customer is ready to pay more money to you. When the customer is ready to pay more money to you, what happens? You get more money, that helps you make more profits, and that more profit is actually adding to you as well as to the customer, right? Customer को additional value मिल रही है, आपको additional पैसा मिल रहा है. That is value chain analysis. That is value chain analysis. Through all the steps, through all the processes, you are adding value in terms of money, in terms of content, right? So that is value chain analysis in simplest form. Okay, awesome. Let us jump back to functional level strategies. And today we'll start with our production strategy, right? Production strategy क्या होता है? We have done marketing in depth. We did financial strategy, valuation, पैसा कैसे आएगा? You take a loan, you take a debt, you take an equity. Right? That is financial strategy. And how do you want to spend that money on a capital expenditure on this or that? But today let's study production strategy. Let us today study production strategy. Okay, cool. Now, what is production? Production, basically, when I say production, I'll change the color to blue. When I say production, right, production actually means operations strategy. Okay, production is also called operations strategy. Production is also called operations strategy because production, हर जगह production नहीं होती, right? In a service industry, there is no production, but there is operations. There are operations. In a factory also, there are operations. In a manufacturing unit, there are operations. So strategy related to your operations. Your strategy related to your operations is called production or operations strategy, which is the third functional strategy we are studying, right? It is related to production systems, operational planning and control management, right? Simple है. आप एक system बनाएंगे, there will be a system of operations. Let us take an example of a car maker, right? Let us take an example of a car maker. What happens? Steel sheet आती है, tires from somewhere, this from somewhere, steering wheel from somewhere, like motor from somewhere. All of this is coming from different places. You're assembling them into a car, you're producing a car, you're testing a car, and then you're taking it to the wholesaler or the dealer, right? Now you have to plan all this system. You have to develop an entire system that such manufacturing unit or car making or car assembling happens, right? Then you have operational planning. आपने एक system तो बना लिया, but you have to plan. What after what will happen if this goes wrong? What will happen if that goes wrong? How will I check that? How will I do that? How will I do this? How will I do that? And then you do control management, right? Whatever I've planned, is it in the right way? Is it doing the right thing, what I expect it to do, right? क्या ठीक हो रहा है? कुछ गलत हो रहा है तो how do I improve that? How do I improve my efficiency? Or if something is like there is a leakage or there is a problem in the system or production slow हो रही है, raw material नहीं आ पा रहा है. So these are the different issues that you can face during operations. I'm just giving an example from a car making. Think of any business. There is going to be operations. There is going to be small, from the smallest to the biggest, right? Let us think about the smallest of the businesses also, right? I'll take a very random example. Let's say there is a potter, right? एक uncle है जो गमला बनाते हैं. Now, he also has operations. He has to get raw material, मिट्टी लानी है, motor चाहिए to make that. He wants water, then he has to produce it. He has to find a place to place it to keep that. He has to maintain कि रखूं कैसे that it sells, which is the right market I should go, right? All these operations, his operations, कहाँ से सामान आएगा? How will I prepare it? How many pieces will I have to prepare? How fast can I prepare? एक दिन में 5 गमले बना सकता हूँ, 10 गमले बना सकता हूँ. What is my production capacity? how much raw material will I need, right? All this comes under production strategy, right? It really affects the nature of product, the markets to be served, and the manner in which the markets are to be served. Your production strategy is majorly talking about your operations, and that defines how will your customer feel about your product, right? If your production and your operations are very smooth. Now think about this. Let's take an example of McDonald's, or let us take an example counterpart of a local vendor who is selling pizza and burger on a stall outside your road or outside your house or in a market, right? A standing stall. Now, the way operations are done, how McDonald's operates its restaurants is defining how you as a customer feel about their product, right? आप मैकडोनल्ड्स में जाके बर्गर खाते हैं, you feel confident, you feel satisfied कि हाँ, there is hygiene, there is good price, everything is packed, the taste is good, everything is very hygienic, you feel good about that thing, right? But if you're eating from a street vendor, even though you like it, you somehow know that boss, ये hygiene नहीं है, there is so much mitti around me that the things are not, it's not hygienic, right? The manner in which the market are to be served depends on operations. It really depends, and it is defined by operations, that how you operate your business, right? That is the basic idea of operations or production strategy, right? Now, the operations system structure is basically concerned with what? We understand today production strategy is about entire operations and production. So it will relate to what? It is concerned about manufacturing and service and supply delivery system, right? Manufacture कैसे करना? How will I manufacture something? How will I provide a service to someone? Right? What is the kind of operations? What is the kind of activity that I will need to do a production strategy? Right? In computers in school, you remember we had output, processing, and then we had input, processing and output. Right? There was something called a input karo, then it processes and computer gives an output. Right? This pura is called operation strategy ideally for a business, if I can put it in that way. What you input into the factory, into manufacturing, into your service, how you process it, and what is the output that comes, right? All these three activities is production strategies, operation strategy. Simple words, okay? Now, the operation system objectives are related to customer service and resource utilization. Absolutely. Production strategy, the two key things, what are the two key things that a production strategy or your operations want to tackle? Number one, customer service. The customer should get the best produced, the best service, right? And second, Acha, video, just give me 1 second, let me check. Shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening, let us see. I will check my internet. Very internet speed I can check, and Abhi, is it still lagging? I don't think so. The speed is good, yeah. It's working. It's working. I have the support from ICAI, so the technical team is saying that it's working, right? The technical team tells me it's working. What about you guys? Perfect. It's back. Chal, cool. So let us jump back to production strategy, right? What are the kind of decisions? What actually happens here? Okay. So strategy implementation would have to take in account the production system factors, right? Now think of this. Production strategy. When I talk about production strategy, the question to you guys is production strategy would be long term or short term. When a company is making, right? I think net is good, but server is a problem. I also think so. No problem. We are still on that slide. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if that can be done. Let me see. Probably what I'm doing is I am resolving the issue, and that should not happen now, right? Hmm. Okay, so I think we'll be back on that. But there's a question, yes. So the question was whether production strategy will be long term or short term. What do you think? Short term. Dia says short term. Charles says long term. Nitya says long term. What about others? What about others? Production strategy. Think of this. You are creating an operations for manufacturing. You are creating operations. You're planning something to produce or to provide a service, right? That will require a lot of investment. That will require huge amounts of investment, right? And then that will happen, correct? That is right. Cool. So people say that is short term, some are saying long term. What about others? What about others? Long term, long term, long term, short term. Production strategies, long term. Absolutely yes. Right? The decisions are going to be long term in nature. Now think about this. A factory बना रहे हो. You're thinking about your operations of creating 10,000 units or 1 lakh units in a month. The decision has to be long term. ऐसा नहीं होगा that you're creating a factory, you're creating a manufacturing plant, you're creating your operations, and then you say, boss, 2 महीने बाद कि नहीं, I don't think this is working, let me just stop it. 50, 60 crores, like crores of lakhs and crores of amounts of money is going to be invested in that. You cannot just go and say, boss, और नहीं चाहिए, this, I'm done with this. It is always a long term. It is going to be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? That is what long term production strategy is always long term. It is always long term. Right? That is what the slide says, that they involve decisions which are long term. They influence operation capability and ability to implement strategies to achieve objectives. Right? We've been studying आपका objective, goals and objectives and everything. We have studied that. Right? Now, what happens is a production strategy is always long term and it is aimed at improving your capability, right? आज आप 1,000 units बना पा रहे हैं, tomorrow you want to make 10,000. After 3 years, you want to make 1 lakh. It is a long-term process. You build a factory with a long-term perspective कि आज से 5 साल बाद, what after 5 years? Where will my company will be? Where I want my company to be after 5 years? उस basis पे you decide your production strategy, how big a production unit you want, how big your operations should be, right? Now think about this. Honda City, I'm just giving you an example. If you know Honda City, the car, they keep changing their models. 2007 model, 14 model, 17 model, 2019 model, 2021 model, right? What is this? What is this? This is always a long-term perspective. They're thinking from a long-term perspective. Har 2 saal I have to change the look and feel of my car. And that is how they have created their operations, right? It is not like कि एक बार Honda City बनाई खत्म, जिंदगी में और कभी Honda City नहीं बनानी. They have to make Honda City for the next 15, 20 years. That is their operations planning, right? Oh, no problem, Ria. So now that is clear. From a strategy perspective, it is long term. From a product perspective, it can be short and long. That is true. That is true. From a product perspective, though, you can think कि it, आज नया product, if you're bringing new products, it becomes a short term. But the strategy overall, the operations or the production strategy overall is always long term, right? Okay. Now, we're talking about planning and control. In production, we talked about how do you plan, how do you, so basically I'll tell you what. इस slide में you will see there is a lot of text. You get a lot of you will have to read a lot. No, just read the marked. Just read what is marked on the slide. Okay. Now, strategies. The production strategy is concerned with what? It is concerned with, that means what does production strategy do? See, all these slides, honestly, I'll tell you, it is just written in a different way, right? The crux, the meaning remains the same. The logic remains the same. The idea remains the same. It is just that it is written in a different way. It is written in a different way, right? It is concerned with aggregate production planning, material supply, आएगा कहाँ से, inventory, cost, quality management, maintenance of plant and equipment, right? We're just breaking down of what we studied in production capacity, in production strategy. कि material supply कहाँ से आएगा? What will be my inventory? How much inventory will I need at any given point in time? What is the cost? What is the quality management? What kind of quality goods I am getting? How will I check that? Maintenance of plant and equipment, right? You have to maintain your plant, you have to maintain your equipment, your machinery. So that also comes under your operations and production strategy, right? Now, the aim. What does it aim at? This strategy ka idea kya hai? What does it want to achieve? This is what all you do in this strategy. This is all the kind of planning you do. In सारी चीजों की planning you do in production strategy. You plan your production, you plan your material supply, you plan your inventory, you plan your quality, you plan your maintenance of plant and equipment. You plan all this, right? Then your aim, why do you do all this? Why will you do all this? Because you want to use your resources most efficiently in the light of long-term objectives, right? You want to use your resources in the optimum fashion for a long-term objective. ये aim है of this particular strategy, and you plan about your supply materials, inventory, quality management, maintenance of plants, right? And finally, what kind of a control you do? The best control and the most crucial control in production or operation strategy is called quality control, right? Let us highlight that. Quality control, right? Companies use quality control as a strategic tool in production strategy. Production strategy mein, what is the best used tool for quality for your control? The best used tool for control in operation strategy is quality control. Okay, that makes it easy. The most effective and the most widely used tool in production or operation strategy for controlling your operations or production is called quality control of both the things. Quality control दोनों चीजों का होगा. Of your input, that is your raw material, right? Raw material का भी आप quality control करेंगे, and your finished goods का quality control also you will do, right? You will do quality control of both the things, of your raw material and your finished goods. It is not just about raw material. सिर्फ जो purchase कर रहे हैं, you will not do a quality control. You will also do quality control of your final good, of your finished good. What you're producing, whether it is the quality that you want to achieve or not, right? Now think about airline industry, right? Airline industry is also based on quality, right? As lower quality equals playing with the life of the passengers. Abhi airlines to needs high level of quality control. It cannot skip कि अरे कोई बात नहीं, plane का पंखा नहीं चल रहा, कोई बात नहीं, उड़ा दो, right? There are 200, 300 people on a plane, right? You cannot be easy with quality control. Or the seats are torn, or the handles are not working, or your seats are always going back and forth, right? If the quality is not good, your brand is going to go down, your business is going to go down within very short time, right? So quality control is one of the best tools to control your production and operations, to maintain a quality in the market, right? Okay. Let us go into a question. Very simple question. बहुत simple question. If you understand the concept, this question is relatively very easy. If you understand the concept, let us see who all can answer this. During COVID, Mahaji Masala Company shifted near a newly built township. They started facing revolt from locals because their operations were causing breathing problems to the people living there. Okay, which area of production strategy seems to have been most ineffective here? Tell me. We just studied, right? Production strategy mein you plan, you control. You plan your systems, you control your systems, you want to increase the efficiency of your operations, and you also do an external, because every strategy will anyway have external analysis, right? Let us see who can answer this. I'm pretty sure it's a difficult one. Okay, so the answers have started coming in. External environment, operations efficiency, external environment, control management. Okay. What about others? Operations efficiency, external environment analysis. I'm happy there are mixed answers. That means the question is really tough. Mixed answers means the questions are really tough, and I'm happy about it. Operations efficiency, external analysis, external environment analysis. Okay. Just 5 seconds and then I'll come to the answer. External environment analysis. You will not find these questions in the book. These are my questions. Okay, cool. The answer is resource planning, which no one said. It is going to be resource planning. Why? Now think about this. This company, Mahaji Masala, started a factory near it's a masala company. It's a masala company. And they opened a factory near a township where people are living, right? So the first thing, the planning itself is flawed. Right? There is problem in the planning itself. Leave control. Control is the last step. Operations efficiency is when you start producing thing, right? External environment analysis ideally is not part of production strategy. It's part of the overall corporate strategy, right? Corporate strategy mein external environment analysis aata hai. At functional level strategies do not do external environment analysis. It is done by corporate level strategy, chapter number 4. Chapter number 6, which is functional strategies, do not do external environment analysis. So, wo to pehle hi out ho gaya, right? This is already out. External environment too, it is already out. But resource planning, think about this. The first step of planning where you want to start your production, where you want to bring your resources, where you want to operate as a business, it itself is wrong, right? That in itself is wrong, is flawed. That is why it is the most ineffective, right? Resource planning, right? Right here. So that is there in the book. You will not see. Okay, so that is what I say. My PPTs are not going to be study material copy paste. I have thought about it. I've read the material and I've prepared notes for you. Okay, these are kind of notes for you. So if you go on to find it, if you read the production strategy, you will study, we talk about production planning, we talk about control, we talk about external analysis is not there. That is to confuse you, right? Study material, you will have all these paragraphs. If you go on underline, read those paragraphs like I have read, you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, that is what I say. My PPTs are very crisp notes of what you should understand from the study material. It is not going to be a copy paste of the study material, right? That is why study material is also very important. I am just giving you a crisp, short form of the study material in my words. Everything is in my words, right? ऐसे तो you will not find these pictures and everything also in the study material, right? But they are there in my PPT. Cool. So think about that Mahaji Masala wala example. We're talking about resource planning. The planning in itself, the first step itself is wrong. आप किसी के घर के पास मसाला फैक्ट्री खोल दोगे, it is going to come back as a pressure point for you. It is going to come back as a pain for you, right? Efficiency is secondary. Control is the last step. The first step is planning, and that was flawed. That was wrong for that particular company, Mahaji Masala. Okay, cool. Now let us quickly go on to the next strategy, which is called a logistics strategy. And this is going to confuse you like anything. Okay. This particular strategy confuses everyone. कि भाई कहना क्या चाहते हो? What is logistics? Everywhere I hear logistics. What is logistics? Okay. Now think about this. Look at this picture. Okay. Look at this picture very carefully. Look at this. What is happening in this? Okay. Will someone explain me what is happening in this picture? Look at this image that is moving, right? Goods are coming in from ship. It is delivered. Inventory is done in the warehousing. Trucks are taking that out of the port. There are machines and there are the warehouses. Yahan pe you will see a lot of things kept here. The ship is coming from here. Saman utar raha hai. Saman is going to truck. Saman is going on into warehouse. From truck, it is going to, some part is going to inventory and some part truck is taking out of the port, right? Do you see all of this happening in the image? Right? Loading, unloading, keeping into warehouses, warehousing karna, inventory ko warehouse mein rakhna, right? Goods are arriving on the port, goods are going out of the port. The truck is taking all the goods out of the port to the companies that need it. It is a raw material for someone. It is a finished good for someone. It can be anything. It can be raw material. It can be finished good also, right? It can be anything. All of this, what is happening in this image is logistics. Okay. All of this that is happening in this image is called logistics. Your inward supply, your outward supply, your warehousing, right? Your storage, your movement of goods, all of this, your movement of goods inside your company and going from outside your company, coming from somewhere, going somewhere. All these ships around the world moving in oceans, aeroplanes, DHL ja raha hai, your Amazon is giving, Amazon ki goods are coming to your house, Flipkart goods are going to, you're returning goods on Flipkart back to the seller. All of this is logistics, right? You place an order on Flipkart app or on Amazon app, where goods are taken from the seller's warehouse, reached a Flipkart warehouse, वहाँ पे packaging and checking होता है, bill लगता है, they scan it, then they give it to someone. वहाँ से let's say from Nagpur it comes to Gurgaon, from Gurgaon it comes to Delhi, from Delhi it is delivered at your house. All this system is logistics, right? Now go a step back. From even before seller, that seller is buying that product, let's say from Indonesia, right? That seller has a person who is sitting in Indonesia and sending him those goods. So from Indonesia, wo movement hoti hai. Indonesia wala puts it in a truck. It goes to the port. From Indonesia's port, it comes to Kerala ka port. From Kerala ka port, it gets into warehouse. From warehouse, truck wala takes to Nagpur. From Nagpur, that seller sells it on Flipkart. That starts moving from Nagpur to Gurgaon to Delhi to your house, right? Ye sab kuch is logistics. Everything that is happening, the movement of goods, the storage of goods, it is called logistics. Right? Not just transportation. Transportation is one part of logistics, okay? Logistics ke andar aapka movement of goods comes, aapka storage, your warehousing, right? Inventory management, everything comes into logistics, right? Everything comes into logistics. Transportation is just one part of logistics. It is a very big part, but it is just a part of logistics, right? Okay, cool. Let us go into understand logistics and management, right? Now look at the highlighted words. Okay, look at the highlighted words. Smooth and uninterrupted production process, right? What does it do? It ensures it. It ensures that the production process is smooth and uninterrupted, right? It is a process which integrates the flow of supplies into, through, and out of the organization, right? Saman aa raha hai, saman ja raha hai. It integrates the flow of supplies in and outside the firm or an organization, right? Now, it is not just about transportation. It is not just about transportation. Read this very carefully. Logistics, the idea of logistics is right material available at the right place, at the right time, of the right quality, and at the right cost, right? Logistics is not just about transportation. It is about bringing, or it is about ensuring the right material available at the right place, at the right time, of the right quality, and at the right cost. Everything is logistics. Now think about this. Logistics is only concerned with goods, not related with services. Ideally, yes. Ideally, yes. But if you think about it, logistics is a service in itself, right? Think from a perspective. If you are into a business of logistics, let's say my company, I have a company which gives logistics consultancy, which does logistics. I'm giving a service, right? I am moving products, but logistics in itself can be a business. If you think from a perspective, each of these functional activities can be a business in itself, right? I'm just thinking out loud. From an entrepreneurship, if you want to do business, if you want ideas, ki kya business kare, each of these functional strategies can be a business. You can be a financial consultant, you can be a logistics company, right? Your delivery, your FedEx, your UBL, your e-cart, all these are logistics companies. Right? Inka kaam hi logistics can be. These are billion dollars of companies, right? So logistics, right material, right place, right time, right quality, and at the right cost, right? Now think about this. When I say logistics, if I have to get a good, there's a question to you. Okay, I'll ask you a question and you'll understand to be logistics ka basic idea kya hai from a business perspective. I want to get some goods from Kerala, right? From Kerala to, let's say, I want to get some goods in Sikkim. Okay, I live in Sikkim and I want goods from Kerala. I want spices, I want kali mirch, right? I want black pepper to come from Kerala to Sikkim. Now I have two options. Either I bring them through aeroplane, right? Through airplane, I order that and they come through airfare, right? Second is they come via truck, right? Now I have two things. Money is a problem for me. Time is not a problem. 4 दिन बाद है, 10 दिन बाद है, not a problem. But I cannot spend too much money on transportation or on logistics. कि वहां से सामान निकले, वहां आए, मेरे warehouse में डल जाए, right? So what is the right way? Should I go for your road transport or should I go for air transport? Time is not a problem for me. Money is less with me. What should I do? Any relevant performance with goods before consumption is called logistics. That's a very technical definition, Sonu. What I'm trying to explain was aasan nahi hai. You want a difficult definition. Any relevant performance performed with goods before consumption. Absolutely. Transport. Consumption se pehle transport hi aayega. But that is right. Your definition is absolutely right. But thodi complicated. I'm trying to break it down. My question is, paisa is a problem. What should I do? Right? Road, truck wala option. Road transport. That's right. It's logistics management. This is logistics management. From a business perspective, I have to get the right material at the right place at the right time. The right time for me is any time. The right time kya hai? Right place kya hai? What is the right material? Right quality kya hai? That is subjective. For every business, that is different. For a momos wala, which is standing in a stall versus a Wow Momos, right? Wow Momos is a big brand. right? They are a brand, let's say $400-500 million company now. Wow Momos, the kind of quality they want versus the kind of quality your Momos wala want is different. So it's subjective to the business, right? But for the business, it is the right quality, right? So think about this. आपने बोला truck वाला option. You opted for an option of truck वाला at the right cost. You wanted that at the right cost. You wanted at lower cost than airfare. So you decided that right quality, right? तभी you're going to Kerala. That is why you're bringing it from Kerala, because you want good quality, right? At the right time, at the right place, that is Sikkim, and the right material. You want Kali Mirch only. You don't want Kala Namak. You don't want rock salt. You don't want black salt. You want black pepper. Right material, finding the right material at the right place, at the right time, of the right quality, and at the right cost. All of these decision making, all of this happening is called logistics management. Okay. Now, logistics management is some of the attributes, some of the things that logistics management ensures. Logistic management kyun ki jaye? My question should be to a business. I'm a business owner. I'm a business person. I'm doing some business. Okay. Why should I do logistics management? Why should I have a function? This is a functional strategy, right? Abhi, why should I create a logistics team? For my business, I have a financial team. I have a production team. I have a marketing team. Why do I need a logistics team? Why do I need a logistics team? Because of these reasons. Because of these reasons, I need a logistics team. I need a logistics function in my business. It's a function level strategy. Because of these, I need a logistics function. Number one, cost saving, right? Abhi, you just gave me an answer. Airfare ki jagah, go for a truck. You are saving your cost, right? You're planning logistics. Reduced inventory, right? If you have planned your logistics that every 4 days a truck comes and fills your inventory, right? You have reduced inventory. हर 2 दिन में नहीं आ रहा है, हर 4 दिन में आ रहा है. So let's say you get 10,000 pieces as raw material, and it takes 4 days for you to use all those 10,000 units of raw material. So you order the next 10,000 units only after 4th day or at the end of 4th day, right? Reduced inventory, because inventory की cost आएगी आपको, right? Keeping inventory in a place is cost consuming. You will have to create environment, infrastructure चाहिए. You will have 2-3 people, security guards will be there, quality team will be there, right? Then you will have to spend money in keeping an inventory. If it is not selling, your balance sheet will always have stock piled up, right? So reduced inventory is what is the aim of logistics team की inventory एकदम normal level पे है. There should not be over inventory. Now think of this. You have a shop जहाँ पे हमेशा दुकान भरी पड़ी है. Nothing is selling. You're buying more and you're selling less. So that means you have overload of inventory. Reduced inventory means you're buying only as much you can sell or as much is selling, so that there is balance between the two, right? Aisa now your lot of money is stuck in inventory, big nahi hai. So reduced inventory is also something that logistics does. Improved delivery time, we understand that. Blinkit 10 minutes mein. Now think of this logistics, the latest technology, the latest thing that all these businesses are doing. They're playing on logistics. They are playing on logistics. Right? Think of Blinkit, Grofers, 10-minute delivery, Zepto, your Flipkart or Flipkart grocery, right? 10 minutes में delivery करते हैं. All of these are delivering in 10 minutes. They are creating a logistics mammoth. They are creating technology innovation in logistics, right? Improved delivery time, improved customer satisfaction. Customer gives an order 10 minutes में घर पे सामान, right? Instant. And lastly, we have competitive advantage. This is clear. Competitive advantage to ho hi jayega if you have good logistics. If you have good logistics. Now let us say you order something on Amazon Prime. They say if you order before 12 o'clock today, you will be delivered the good before 9 p.m. today, right? Now what is this? They have such strong logistics and it improves the customer satisfaction. When the customer satisfaction improves, it creates a competitive advantage, right? That is what Blinkit is doing. That is what Grofers, now Blinkit is doing. 10 मिनट में डिलीवरी से क्या होगा, कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन इंक्रीजेस and that is creating a competitive advantage for them. Their logistics is their competitive advantage. Their logistics is their competitive advantage. Go back to competitive advantage wala topic where we studied that every function can be a competitive advantage. Every function can become your competitive advantage, right? Whether it is financial strategy, whether it is your production strategy, whether it is any of the functional strategies, if you can get hold of, that becomes your competitive advantage. Financial strategy, agar you can use your money in a very good fashion, that becomes your competitive advantage. You reduce your cost, you increase your profits, that is your competitive advantage. In production strategy, if you are able to deliver good quality products at a very low cost, that is your competitive advantage, right? Marketing strategy, if your marketing is superb, if your marketing is bang on point, that becomes your competitive advantage. And logistics. Latest example, Blinkit, Grofers, Zepto, XYZ company giving in 10 minutes, giving on the same day delivery, same day return, no questions asked policy on return. You can return anything you buy online without any questions. They just come, collect your goods and go away. And you get instant money in your wallet, right? That is creating a competitive advantage in logistics, right? Is this clear? Is this clear? Difference between logistics and planning. They're very different. Planning to kuch aur hai. Logistics and planning. Why are you getting confused between the two, Vrinda? Logistics is a function. Planning is done everywhere. Planning to har jagah hoti hai. Logistics planning, financial planning, marketing planning, production planning. Logistics is a function. Planning is done at every level. Right? But is it a competitive advantage only when others are not able to deliver right goods on the right time? Absolutely yes. Now think about this. Now, if they are doing 10-minute delivery and in the next, let's say 6 months, every e-commerce company starts delivering within 10 minutes. Okay. Every e-commerce company starts delivering within 10 minutes. Blinkit ka the competitive advantage is zero. Now, they wanted people to come to them because they were delivering in 10 minutes. Now think everyone is delivering in 10 minutes, right? Their competitive advantage becomes zero. Vrinda, you can rephrase your question. I'm happy to answer. But difference between logistics and planning is not making sense because logistics is a function and planning is you do at every level. आप पढ़ाई की भी planning करते हो, right? Okay. Now, the most confusing thing that a lot of us get, I honestly get a lot of confusion. If I understand logistics, right? I understand what is logistics. I understand what is logistics. But what is supply chain management? What is supply chain management? How is supply chain management different from logistics? Okay. How is supply chain management different from logistics? क्योंकि दोनों का मतलब तो सेम है, right? Now think of this. Logistics is like old system. Logistics is like a big, broad, old system. Supply chain management is a new, very innovative and a new, very efficient process. It's a very new approach to logistics, right? Supply chain management is a very new, fresh, scientific, technically proven approach to your logistic solutions, right? Let us understand thoda sa. I know you get confused with supply chain logistics. How is it different? Let us understand. Okay. It's a newer cross-functional approach to managing the movement of raw materials into the organization and movement of goods out of the organization towards the end consumer. Right? Same cheese. Logistics भी तो यही करता है. Right? It encompasses all movement and storage of raw material, work in process inventory, finished goods from point of origin to point of consumption. Logistics भी तो यही करता है. SCM refers to linkages between suppliers, manufacturers, and customers. These activities are usually outsourced to specialized organizations like Amazon, UPS, FedEx. Logistics भी तो यही करता है. How is supply chain management different from logistics? Okay. Before I explain that, let me see if any of you know this. Right? Sushil, wonderful question. What is competitive advantage? How an organization get competitive advantage? I think you have not gone through the sessions, right? I've been explaining and shouting my lungs out what is competitive advantage in the last 5 and 6 sessions. You have to go back and watch those, right? It's like your question is like we are ending Ramayana and you're saying Sita kaun thi, right? Ramayana khatam ho gayi, Sushila has come and asking ki Sita kaun hai? Ramayana khatam ho gayi, sir. Good morning to you. Okay, so who will, before I explain the difference between aapka logistics and supply chain management, right? What do you think is the difference? How is that different? Let us see who can explain this to me. Let us see who can try to think beyond the syllabus. Let us see who can try to be imaginative and think क्या difference होगा supply chain management और logistics में. Word सुन के क्या समझ आ रहा है? Definition क्या होगी? Or if you have already studied the syllabus, you would know this, right? Difference between logistics and supply chain management. Let us see who can answer this. I'll take 2 minutes on this. Think around. You want to refer some book, you want to refer something. Let us see if you can find an answer. But I really want you to try and get an answer to this. I will explain anyway. Next slide, I will explain anyway. Next slide is about this only. I don't see any answers, Abhita. Why is that so? Is it such a difficult question? Where are the Maharathis? I want answers. Where are the answers? Think about it. Think about it. That is why. I know it is going to take time. I know it is going to confuse you. And that is why it is important to understand. And that is why it is important to understand. Right? And that is why it is important to understand. And why am I telling you to answer? Because मेहनत लगेगी तो समझ आएगा ज़्यादा. I will explain, it will become easy. I will anyway explain. Okay. Supply chain deals with many business entities, right? Supply chain deals with many business entities. Supply chain deals with many business entities. Logistics doesn't focus that much on management, but supply chain does. Okay. Somewhat yes, not really, but somewhat yes. Try more, try harder. I want this answer. You want to Google it? Go Google it. I really don't have an issue with that. I want you to find an answer to this right now. Okay, so I have answers. Wonderful, yeah, wonderful. Supply chain management involves a chain of manufacturers and wholesalers, but logistics management involves direct delivery from supplier to customer. Okay, Asta, let's see if that is the right thing. Charu says, logistics is a part of supply chain management. It means to ensure better SCM logistics management is important. Okay, let's see. Logistics is a part of supply chain management. Okay, Priyanshi, let's see. Supply chain management includes all activities. It also includes logistics. That is right. Okay. Supply chain management is a broad term than logistics. Okay. Supply chain beneficial to consumer to get goods in time, and logistics mainly helpful to management. Okay. Supply chain management involves delivery to end customer too, but logistics not specified much about this. Okay, can be one thing. Supply chain, manufacturing to warehouses to retail, right? It is broader. SCM is broader. Logistics is narrow. Supply chain management involves deliveries. SCM involves delivering the right product at the right place at the right time and at the right price. On the other hand, logistics is about right place, time, right quality, and right cost. Okay. Okay, that's a good one, Kushi. That's a good one. Logistics talks about right cost. SCM talks about right price. That's a good one. Okay. Anyone else? SCM broader and logistics is narrow. That is somewhat true. That is true. That is what we are going to study right now, right? That is what we are going to study anyway right now. But let us keep it a mystery for the next 10 minutes. What I'll do is let us take a quick break here. Let us take a quick break here and let us come back and let us see and understand what all things you said. They're right. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Everything you said is absolutely right. But let us dig in to understand with examples. थोड़े एग्जाम्पल्स लेते हैं एंड समझते हैं that how is supply chain management different from logistics, and let us be back in 10 minutes. Okay, it's 8:05 right now in my clock. Let us quickly go, stretch, drink something, and be back within sharp 10 minutes, 8:50. And then we'll understand after supply chain management with examples so that pura concept clear ho jaye, right? All right, so let us see you in next 10 minutes. Very quickly, be back. I will be back on time. Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes then. Back, everyone. I hope you guys are also back. If not, sure, yeah, go ahead with your question. If you have a question from chapter 5. Okay, so the question is, it's written that successful differentiation means greater product flexibility and compatibility, right? So I'll tell you what does that mean. Greater differentiation, when I'm talking about more successful differentiation being greater product flexibility and compatibility, that means if your product is like if you are differentiating your product, right? आप एक product बना रहे हो which is differentiated, which is different from your competitor, it is more successful. It is more successful if it is more flexible and compatible. That means if I can change the differentiation again and again, right? I will go and test. If I think my something, let's say this mug is different from other mugs, I go and sell it, and the customer says कि नहीं यार इतना मजा नहीं आया. I want something more. I want something more. So if you're able to improve your differentiation time and again, if you're able to differentiate your good time and again, it is flexible and it is compatible. आप easily और उसको change कर सकते हो. It becomes more successful, right? That is what it means. If it is flexible to be changed time and again as per customer demand, it is more successful differentiation. That is what it means. That is what it means. All right. Everyone is back. Right? Cool. We'll just wait for another 30 seconds for others to be back. Right? We'll just wait for another, let's say 30 seconds so that everyone is back, and then we'll start. Asta is there, Tadu is there, Ditya, Vivek, Charu, Harsh. Good. Thanks guys for being back on time. Everyone else who has now joined, just give me that you're back, and just give me that you're back so that we can start. Awesome, chalo. Khushi is there, Hina is there, Pooja is there. I think we should start without wasting much time. Okay, cool. So what is the difference between logistics and supply chain management? Idea क्या है? How is so different? Why is it confusing us so much? इतना ज़्यादा difference क्या है? Let us understand very quickly. Okay. Here it is. The logistics doesn't mean supply chain management, and why? Okay. Now think about this. Logistics is management of process of integration and maintenance, whereas SCM is coordination and management of supply chains of an organization. Okay. अभी एक company की there can be different supply chains. Each company can have different supply chains, and management of all those supply chains is called supply chain management. But कैसे? How will a company have so many supply chains? I'll explain. Okay. Let's come to point 2. उसके बाद I'll explain all these things. Second, logistics management is a narrower concept and is a part of supply chain management. Super important. Logistics is just a part of supply chain management. Okay. Number 3, objective logistics management is customer satisfaction, whereas supply chain management ka end motive is competitive advantage. Okay. I'll quickly explain what I mean. Now think about this. You are a company, okay? Let's say I'll draw something here. Do I have? यहाँ पे let's draw यहाँ पे and then explain this slide. यहाँ पे draw करते हैं. Okay, think about this. You are a company, okay? Your company's name is X. And you have 5 raw materials: A, right? B, C, D, and E. You have 5 raw materials that you use to produce something, okay? A or B, both come from one single supplier. Y नाम का supplier है which gives these two raw materials. C comes from Z, D and E come from, let's say, Q, right? Q नाम का एक आपका supplier है who gives you D and E. Okay. Now, Y gives raw material through trucks, right? ये road से आते हैं. Z sends through airplane because Z is from, let's say, this is from Thailand. Okay, Z is from Thailand. Y is an Indian supplier. Y is an Indian supplier and he sends you stuff to your factory through road. Z is a supplier in Thailand, sends through airfare. Q is a supplier. Q is a supplier from Africa, right? Q is a supplier from Africa and he sends you through ship. ये ट्रक से भेजता है, ये एरोप्लेन से भेजता है और ये आपको शिप से भेजता है, राइट? नाउ इस सब को मैनेज करना, मैनेजिंग ऑल ऑफ दिस इज सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट. वन कंपनी, योर वन सिंगल कंपनी, थिंक ऑफ दिस, राइट? थिंक ऑफ दिस, योर वन सिंगल company having 3 suppliers, different logistics. ये logistics सिर्फ ये रहा, okay? ये रहा logistics, transport, truck हो गया, airfare हो गया और ship हो गया. Logistics is only concerned about these 3 things, but managing this entire system. Now, what does management mean there? Management का क्या मतलब? Management means finding the right supplier. Finding the right supplier in what country am I getting that? What are the terms and conditions of purchase? I'm pretty sure I'm not on mute. Let me check. Am I audible now? Is it better? Because my mic says that I'm quite audible. Am I audible now? Yes. I should be audible now. Not simple, right? It's very simple, and that is, just give me 1 second. Got it. Cool. Okay. Now what is happening is the difference. Now you understood you have multiple suppliers. This transportation, truck, airfare and ship, only this is logistics. सिर्फ ये 3 चीजें, these 3 things, that truck से आएगा या aeroplane से आएगा या आपका ship से आएगा, this is just logistics. Only this thing is logistics. But managing this entire system, finding the right supplier across the globe, managing contracts, managing systems of flow of goods from that country, the flow, right? The flow. It's not possible there. My internet is pretty good. I've checked it quite. So I think it's not a problem on my internet side. Probably some server issue. My internet is around 100 Mbps. I just checked 3 seconds back. It's 100 Mbps. इससे ज़्यादा तो इंडिया में नहीं मिलेगा. Right? So these things, your transportation and the storage is basically logistics. Your transportation and storage is basically logistics. But managing this entire flow from a supplier to your factory, from a supplier to your factory, this entire thing is basically a supply chain management, right? This entire gamut of activities is supply chain management. Transportation and storage just being a part of this entire flow of goods is called logistics. बहुत simple है, right? Abhi it is clear. Abhi you understand what is supply chain management. No problem. Slide दिख रही है ना, मेरी शक्ल देख के कोई फायदा नहीं है. You will not get marks from my face. You will get marks from the PPT. PPT दिख रही है, काम चलेगा for now. But ideally होना चाहिए. I should also be visible. But ठीक है. The idea is that you get the concept right. Okay. So the transportation and storage being a part of this entire flow of goods and of the flow of goods from a supplier to the production unit, from a production unit to the customer, right? ये पूरे flow को manage करना is supply chain management. Transportation and storage is just one part of supply chain management. Logistics, which is storage and transportation, is called logistics. That is just one part of supply chain management. Supply chain management is a very broad term. I'll tell you what happens. Now, there are specialized MBA courses across the globe, especially in United States, right? Especially in United States, there are special MBA programs, especially in supply chain management. If you go on the internet and you see, now there are specialized MBA courses which only teach supply chain management. 2 years courses, 1 year specialized MBA only in supply chain management. That is how important it is for companies these days. Okay. Now I'll give you a classic example. Okay. Abhi हमने क्या example लिया? We took an example where a company has 3 suppliers. We took an example where a company has 3 suppliers. Okay, Y, Z, and Q. Now think of it हैं इनकी website पे और they 1 crore sellers are selling their goods on their website. Managing 1 crore suppliers. Managing 1 crore suppliers serving around 20 crore customers. 1 crore suppliers serving around 20 crore plus customers. इनको तो कितना supply chain management चाहिए, right? What kind of supply chain management they need, right? Think about Patanjali, think about HUL, think about Marico, think about Dabur, जो big FMCG companies. Think about vaccine makers. Boss, आप अपना imagine कीजिए, the vaccine makers had to deliver, they have to produce, they had to get the raw material within 6-7 months, right? And distribute it across the globe to every single human on earth. Vaccine companies को कितना supply chain management चाहिए था, right? Think from that perspective. That is why it is so crucial, right? I'm pretty sure there is some server issue here because my internet is pretty good. My internet is really good. अभी सर्वर का इशू तो I will have to ask the team to solve, right? सर्वर का इशू है तो I'll ask the team to solve that for us. मेरा इंटरनेट is ठीक sir. I am assuring you of that. But think about this now. Vaccine companies हैं, FMCG companies हैं, big hospitals, right? Big hospitals, big brands. Now think about Nike, think about Adidas, right? Nike has around 7,000 stores. Adidas has around 10,000 stores. इनको तो कितना supply chain management चाहिए, right? From the raw material to the latest shoes, right? The latest trend shoes has to reach every store across the globe. कितना supply chain management चाहिए, right? We cannot even imagine the kind of operations, the kind of supply chain management these companies do, right? Think about it. आपको raw material, you design, you get raw materials, you produce that shoe, you design that shoe, you market that shoe, you put it on websites, you put it on marketing things, you put it everywhere, right? You put everywhere, and what happens is you have to deliver that to every store. You have like 7,000, 10,000 stores across the globe, and you have to go and deliver that. You have to put that on the shelf. That is supply chain management. That is supply chain management, right? Sure. So supply chain management, we're still studying supply chain management. So I'll summarize it once we complete it. So we get it. We get it. How is it different from logistics, right? Logistics is a narrower term. Supply chain management is a broader term, right? Logistics is just about flow. It's just about flow and storage, right? It's just about transportation and storage. While supply chain management is the overall system, supplier कहाँ से लेना है, कौन सा supplier है, कैसे आएगा उससे, how will the things move, what are the terms and conditions, managing those things, management of the entire system of supply chain, from goods, from a supplier to my warehouse, from my warehouse to the customer, right? That entire management of this entire system is called supply chain management, which includes a lot of other things, right? Credit term क्या है, supplier कौन सी country का है, what are the different things that are happening in that country, right? Think about this. In Middle East there is VAT, in India there is GST, in France there is GST, in Thailand there is some other indirect tax. Now all these countries have a different tax regime also. All these countries have different departments. India में आपको import export करने के लिए the kind of paperwork you need is very different from the kind of paperwork you need in let's say Afghanistan, or if let's say Sri Lanka, or even in Myanmar or Indonesia or Japan or China or Singapore, right? Or you go to the African countries. The kind of paperwork is also different. The kind of problems in distribution are different. Let's say I go to Africa. Africa may the roads are not good. If let's suppose the Africa may roads are not good. Now it will take time for goods to come from Africa to India because the transportation system is not that efficient there. So managing all of this is सबका plan करना is supply chain management. Right? There are XYZ problems. कुछ भी हो सकता है. Truck पलट गया, this हो गया, the contract failed, the government changed, political unrest है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Right? If you're getting goods from outside. Now all of this is supply chain management. All of this is supply chain management. Right? Cool. Now let us go on to the next thing that we were studying, right? The key requirement. I'll just clear all of this. The key requirement for successfully implementing supply chain will be network of information sharing and management, right? You need to have a network of information and management, right? आपको पता होना चाहिए what is your supplier doing, where are the goods from the supplier. You need a lot of information. Where are the goods? What are the costs of the goods? What is the quality of the goods? Where are the goods right now? How are the goods moving? What are the different alternative ways? If there is a problem in this channel, can I switch the other channel? Can I go to some other supplier? Can I go to some other mode of transport? Can I do something else? How will I reduce my cost? How will I bring goods urgently, right? It is not just about cost. It is also about speed, right? Cost to dekh li, but I need goods at very, very quick way, right? Let's say ice cream hai. The supply chain management of ice cream is very different from supply chain management of shoes. Shoes तो 6-7 महीने भी warehouse में पड़े रहें, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Ice cream has a shelf life. Within 2 months, or it needs to be in a cold storage at a certain temperature. उसको move करना है from a factory in let's say Tamil Nadu to somewhere in let's say Gujarat, right? From Tamil Nadu to Gujarat मुझे ice cream लेके आनी है. Every single day I'm producing 1 lakh ice creams daily in Tamil Nadu, and all these ice creams have to go across the nation, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi, NCR, Haryana, Punjab. सब जगह ice cream जानी. How do I manage this, right? That you need information sharing, you need management. कि वहां पहुंचने के लिए what are the suppliers, क्या system है, कैसे पहुंचेगा, where are the goods right now, what are the kind of storage I need, क्या मैं पंजाब में जाऊंगा, dealers have refrigeration, or is it just that कि मैं सोच रहा हूँ I'll just go and give it to them? उनके पास खुद ही storage नहीं है, so my ice cream will go waste. Even if I put a lot of ice cream in Gujarat, Rajasthan is very hot. Do people have refrigeration? Rajasthan में बिजली है या नहीं है? I'm just giving an example, right? So you have to think all of this. This is supply chain management. This is supply chain management. If you are putting some product और वहां पे उसका accessibility ही नहीं है, people cannot even access that thing because your product is so complex for them to store. Your supply chain management fails, right? आप इतनी कितना भी पैसा खर्च कर लो, it is not going to be beneficial, right? So a successful running of supply chain management involves what? First is product development, right? You have to have a good product development कि भाई मेरा प्रोडक्ट बनना कैसे है, तभी तो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट मटेरियल, हाउ फास्ट डू आई नीड, किस टाइम पे चाहिए, किस कॉस्ट पे, राइट प्लेस, राइट टाइम, राइट क्वालिटी. इफ यू नो योर प्रोडक्ट, यू नो द प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट कि व्हाट इज द एंड प्रोडक्ट दैट आई नीड, ओनली देन यू कैन गो बैक एंड फाइंड आउट कि मुझे सप्लायर क्या चाहिए, व्हाट इज द कॉस्ट, राइट. Then only you can understand what kind of a management system for your logistics, for your supply chain you need. Only when you know your end product, right? So product development, right? That's called product development. If trains are good, station master is supply chain management. I can say yes, probably. That's a very vague example, Rakesh, but ठीक है. If that makes you understand the entire thing, okay. Second is procurement, right? खरीदना कहाँ से है और कैसे. That is what procurement means. Where do you buy things from and how do you buy those, right? In the previous example, something from Africa, something from India, something from, let's say, Sri Lanka, or let's say from Indonesia or Thailand, right? Procurement. You plan your procurement. That is supply chain management. Manufacturing. Supply chain management में manufacturing भी आती है. I'll tell you how. Not the real manufacturing, but movement of goods, flow of goods. एक फैक्ट्री से दूसरी फैक्ट्री में is also supply chain management, right? It is also supply chain management. आपकी गाड़ी यहाँ बनी, गाड़ी पेंट होने किसी और फैक्ट्री में गई, उसके टायर्स लगने किसी और फैक्ट्री में गई. From that factory it moved to some other factory where we put in your ACs and music systems and your mirrors and your power windows. तो किसी और जगह पे लग रहा है, right? पंजाब में गाड़ी बनती है, राजस्थान में पेंट होती है. This is also supply chain management for a company, right? They create a car in Punjab, but they take all those raw prepared cars to Rajasthan for paint, right? That is also supply chain management. Flow of goods inside, within and outside supply chain management, right? Physical distribution, we know customer tak pahunchana is supply chain management. Outsourcing. If you're not able to do your outsourcing of transportation, either what you do is you buy 10,000 trucks for yourself, or you buy 100 or 1,000 trucks for yourself, or what you say, boss, मुझे trucks वगैरह नहीं खरीदना, I don't want to invest money in trucks and everything. What I'll do is I'll outsource that. I'll tell Amazon to help me. I'll tell FedEx. I'll take delivery, e-cart. इन लोगों को बोलूंगा please help me. I don't know how logistics is done. I don't want to invest in trucks and I don't want to invest in petrol and drivers and everything. That is your expertise. You outsource that, right? कि आप transportation आप देख लो मेरा, or you go to a company and tell storage आप देख लो मेरी, right? You outsource that. That is also SCM. Supply chain management also involves decisions about outsourcing your logistics, outsourcing your management of goods, right? Customer service. How will the person reach the customer? Amazon Flipkart person comes to your house. So you can either pay cash. You have to do sign on the cell phone. They take a barcode, they put a product, packaging, they develop it. Supply chain se jata hai pura. That is customer service. How the product is packed, how it reaches you, whether it reaches you in the good quality, the right quality at the right time. Right time पे आना चाहिए, right quality आनी चाहिए, right cost पे आना चाहिए. If I'm charging 30 rupees as delivery charge, it should actually cost me 25 rupees. I should even earn money on delivery, right? But if I'm not making money on delivery also, that means my supply chain management is not efficient, right? मैं charge तो 30 rupees कर रहा हूँ, but मुझे खर्चने 50 rupees पड़ रहे हैं. That is not good, right? That involves customer service, because if you are charging something, you are at the right place ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका प्रोडक्ट किसी और को डिलीवर हो गया. यू ऑर्डर एन आईफोन एंड यू पे ऑनलाइन, और वो फोन जाके किसी और को दे आए, right? So people go mad, they'll just sue you. So customer service, right place, right time, right quality, right, and the right product. Improved performance, absolutely. Supply chain management should always thrive. It also, the successful running involves improved performance. Your performance should keep improving, right? Or better, good quality, better time. So we started, remember when you started using these online e-commerce companies used to deliver in 7-8 days. They should be written, it will take 7 to 8 business days. Then it dropped down to 3 to 4 days. Then same day, और अब 10 मिनट पे आ गए. Improved performance, right? Improved performance from 7-8 days to 10 minutes, right? That is improved performance. Right? This is what supply chain management का successful running means. The entire system of goods का flow होना from purchasing, procuring to the end customer, this entire web of systems is called supply chain management. Logistics is just one part. Right? Outsourcing means you do not do yourself, you ask someone else to help you. That is outsourcing. कि आप खुद ट्रक ना खरीद के, you are not buying the truck yourself. You're telling a transportation company to help you with transportation, right? Let's say if you have to, like, I'll give you an example, okay? So you have to send, let's say, 10 pieces of cloth, right? You have 10 dresses. You want to send it to your friend who's living in Bangalore and you live in Kolkata, okay? What will you do? You will give it to, let's say, DHL, or you will give it to delivery or some other cargo or courier वाले को दोगे, right? You're outsourcing that. खुद प्लेन खरीद के थोड़ी ना जा रहे, या प्लेन खरीद लिया इसमें हम सामान देके जा रहे हैं, you're not traveling yourself, right? What you're doing is you're outsourcing. Same is what a business does. I'm not buying a plane. I'm not buying a plane for myself, or I'm not doing it myself, but I'm giving money to someone else for their service and they'll manage everything for me. वही मेरे घर से कलेक्ट करेगा, वही ट्रांसपोर्ट करके मेरे दोस्त के घर पहुंचा देगा. That is outsourcing. I'm not doing it myself. I'm paying someone else to do that for me. That is outsourcing. Okay. And that is, my friends, we end logistics and supply chain management. Any questions? Happy to answer any questions and doubts. Take your time, absorb the concept, think about it. कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ पल्ले नहीं पड़ रहा है कि क्या ये क्या मतलब हुआ भाई, क्या पढ़ा रहे हो. Right? Ask your questions. The right time to ask your questions. Mr. Becky Singh, chapter 1 हो गया. Sir, we are on chapter 6. Obviously, chapter 1 हो गया. We are going syllabus wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ऐसे ही करेंगे. So, obviously, chapter 1 हो गया. Probably everything is on YouTube. You can go and watch the sessions again at 1.5 speed. Right? 1.5 पे देख लो. It would really help. Any questions, anything that is not clear, something that is confusing you? Procurement is purchase, okay? Procurement is purchase, Khushi. आप कहाँ से purchase करते हो? Where are you purchasing your products from? Who are your suppliers? Whether your suppliers are from India or you want to go overseas, you want to find suppliers. You would have listened, like a lot of people go to China, used to go to China. अभी COVID के बाद, COVID के during the no one is going. You would have heard before that people used to travel to China to find out कहाँ से products लेके आ सकते हैं, then we'll sell it in India. That is procurement. Going to China and finding out कहाँ से goods लाएं. Now we are doing make in India. Make in India में what government is saying? You purchase your raw materials, you purchase your goods from India. So everything will be produced within India and you can procure. That means purchase from India itself. India का पैसा India में ही रहेगा, right? Procurement means purchasing or gathering raw materials for your business. Sir, supply chain management is under logistics strategy or production strategy? Well, supply chain management is under logistics strategy. I'll tell you why. So think about this, okay? Supply chain management is a very new concept. Okay? It's a fairly new. I wouldn't say very new, but fairly new. अभी पिछले 10-12 साल से ही it is catching up, but logistics तो बहुत पुराने टाइम से है, right? Logistics would be like इतने पुराने आपके from Akbar and Birbal time, you would have horses who would take material from one kingdom to other kingdom, right? That is logistics. But supply chain management is a very recent concept. So what is happening is logistics strategy, the overall strategy ko still they call logistics strategy. However, logistics is just part of supply chain management. Supply chain management is such a big subject. It can be 100-mark subject in your chartered accountancy also. Itna bada hai supply chain management, right? But ideally it falls into logistics strategy for the syllabus. I can bet in the next coming 2-3 years, what you'll see is syllabus change हो जाएगा और logistics strategy की जगह we will have supply chain management as a functional strategy. Logistics हट जाएगा, उसकी जगह supply chain management आ जाएगा. For now, it is under logistics strategy, but logistics is a part of supply chain management. Okay. As the syllabus would change, you will see that. Great, if it's clear. I'll just take another 1 minute. किसी को कोई doubt and questions है? Otherwise, we will move on quickly to research and development strategy. Any doubts? Any questions? कुछ भी confused हो रहा है? Anything? It's better to ask questions here. No questions? No questions. Okay, so let us move on to research and development strategy. Okay, the next one is research and development strategy. बहुत simple है. What is research and development strategy में करना क्या है? What are the kind of decisions you take in this strategy? It's a functional strategy. It's a different function. R&D का एक अलग department होता है for every business, for every big business per se. There is a R&D department that does research and development of product, of processes, of technology, of patents, of innovative things, trademarks, patents, software, your product, right? Everything is R&D. सब चीज में R&D हो रही है, right? Toothpaste में research and development हो रही है. Sensodyne is a product of R&D. That for sensitive gums, let us bring a new toothpaste which is medicinal. That is through research and development. New softwares are coming, better softwares are coming. Zoom is a product of R&D. You're using Zoom right now. We are working on YouTube right now. Research and development हुई है. Within Google, they are doing research and development on making YouTube better, right? That is research and development. So what kind of a strategy, what is the thought process of a R&D strategy? Okay. See, in R&D, the employees and managers who are involved in research and development perform tasks that include development and transfer of complex, means study the market, study the product, study the technology, study about everything related to the business. And then based on your study, analyze कि customer को क्या चाहिए, what is the new innovation we can do, how we can make things better, even if it is a process, even if it is a product, even if it is a service, even if it is anything, right? To adjust the local market, that is research, and then you develop that product or service, right? You adjust that product or service, you make it new, look new for a local market, for the respective market, आप उसको develop करते हो. That is what R&D means. You first research and then you develop it, right? A well-formulated R&D policy matches market opportunities with internal capabilities. R&D का काम simple है. आपने वो we have studied the SO opportunity, maxi, right? You studied that in previous chapters, right? SWOT analysis, TOWS analysis करते हैं strength and opportunity को. We exploit a strength to match the opportunity. That is what R&D function does. R&D function क्या करते हैं? It builds strength. It uses our strength, the business's की strength, to capture the opportunity in the market, right? Integral means very important. Okay, that's a very common English word. Integral means very important. And R&D policy is about finding the right opportunity in the market and matching it with your internal capabilities, right? What you're good at, you put more money into research and development into that area, and then you match the opportunity that is there in the market, right? That is R&D. That is research and development strategy. Okay. how to decide. Now, very big question that an R&D strategy के पास है कि should I spend so much money on research and development myself? क्या मैं खुद करूं? Or should I outsource it? Shall I give it to some outside expert to do research and development for me, and I'll pay them money and use what they study and what they develop, I'll use that for my business, right? This is what the major question in R&D strategy is, whether you want to do R&D yourself or you want to outsource it. That means to get it done by someone outside, some expert, you pay them money or unki study ko you use it, right? How do you decide that? How do you decide that very quickly? If the rate of technical progress is slow and the rate of market growth is moderate, that means technology ज़्यादा जल्दी change नहीं होती है, right? Technology is not changing very quickly. The kind of business you do, उस business में, if in the kind of business you do, that in that business, the technological progress, technology doesn't change very quickly. It's very slow. And the market growth is moderate. Market भी कोई ज़्यादा तेजी से change नहीं हो रही. It's not like a lot of competition is coming, a lot of people are doing innovation. ऐसा नहीं. धीरे धीरे it is developing. Everything is at slow pace. Then you can do in-house R&D. Then you can do in-house. खुद कर लो. Then spend money on R&D because even if you take a lot of time, even if you take a lot of time in research and development, nothing major will happen because the market is not growing very rapidly, because other competitors are not involving very much in technological advancement, right? So you can do it yourself. But if technology is changing rapidly, but market is growing slowly, what will happen? Technology बहुत जल्दी change हो रही है, right? It is becoming very, हर रोज, every 3 months technology is changing in the kind of business you do, but market is not growing that fast. Technology change होती है, but ऐसा नहीं है कि market में you are earning 10 crore rupees today and the technology changes in 3 months and now you earn 20 crores. No, you will still earn 10 crores only, but technology change होती जा रही है. Your business remains stable, but your technology keeps changing in that industry, right? Technology keeps changing in that industry, but your market is there. Your market is there only, right? Let's say for mobiles. For mobiles, currently what is happening is, it is changing rapidly, right? कुछ नया कैमरा आ गया, नई स्क्रीन आ गई, टच स्क्रीन आ गया, फेस आईडी आ गया, रेटिना डिस्प्ले आ गया, this that. Technology change हो रही है, but market is now saturated. You just have to fight for market share. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि today 7 billion people have mobile phone, tomorrow 14 billion people will have mobile phones. Population जैसे जैसे बढ़ेगी वैसे वैसे ही people need mobile phones, right? So it has come to that stage. Now, what is more beneficial? More effort in R&D will be very risky. So what will happen is, आप इतना सारा पैसा R&D में लगा देंगे and technology changes in 3 months. You're spending so much money on R&D in-house. If you do it in-house, you will pay salaries, you will have infrastructure, you will have machines, you will have computer softwares, you will have dedicated department, and the cost of that dedicated department. So if technology changes every 3 months, your cost will start increasing a lot, right? Because you will dedicatedly be giving them, भाई हमेशा change होती जा रही है, right? हमेशा change होती जा रही है. So what is beneficial, right? Then major effort in R&D can be very risky. So it is better आप किसी expert से करवा. It is better you get it done by someone outside, so that you just pay for a service. You want to get into R&D 6 महीने में, 1 साल में. Whenever you want to do research and development, you pay an outside people and get it done. Instead of every 3 months your team is focusing on this, asking for more money, asking for more funding, or technology चाहिए, give us more software, give us more technological advancement, infrastructure. What they say, boss इतना पैसा नहीं खर्चना, just do it from app. हमें हर 3 महीने में भी नहीं करना. I don't want to get into R&D every 3 months. I want to do it, let's say, after 9 months or after 1 year, right? So I just pay an expert outside and get it done whenever I want it to be done. Because technology तो हमेशा change होती जा रही है. आज 3 महीने बाद it is something else. 6 months बाद it will be something else. So I will go by the 6 months वाले. 3 महीने वाले को I'll ignore. What happens after 6 months? I'll pay money to an expert outside and get it done, right? So that is more beneficial. when the technology is changing rapidly, but the market is not growing so much. So it is better to go for an outsourced R&D scheme, right? Now what if technology is changing slowly, but market is growing quickly? अभी टेक्नोलॉजी तो चेंज होती है साल 2 साल बाद. In the kind of business you are, the technology changes after 1 or 2 years or 3 years. But the market is growing very quickly. Right? Rose 10% new customers are coming. The market is growing. A lot of competition is there. Technology ज़्यादा change नहीं हो रही है. But a lot of competition, a lot of market growth opportunity is there. Right? What should you do? There is generally not enough time for in-house development because the market is growing very quickly. You cannot invest because the market is growing very quickly. Think from a business perspective. Right? Think from a business perspective. Where should my money and effort go? My money and effort should go in marketing. My money and effort should go in procurement. My money and effort should go in supply chain management. Right? मेरा पैसा और टाइम जाना चाहिए मार्केटिंग में, इन सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट, so that I can capture more market, so that I can capture more customers. R&D में if I spend more time and money, if the market is growing quickly, I might lose the opportunity in the market because market बहुत जल्दी grow कर रही है. I have to capture market. I should spend money more on marketing, more on supply chain management, more on procurement, right? I should more financial strategy में पैसा खर्च करना चाहिए. So R&D I can do from outsource क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी तो वैसे भी ज्यादा चेंज नहीं. टेक्नोलॉजी तो ज्यादा जल्दी चेंज नहीं हो रही है, बट द मार्केट इज ग्रोइंग. आई हैव टू कैप्चर मार्केट, स्पेंड लेस ऑन R&D, स्पेंड मोर ऑन मार्केटिंग एंड अदर स्ट्रेटजीज, और R&D को आउटसोर्स कर दो, राइट? एंड डू R&D थ्रू एन आउटसोर्स्ड वे, राइट? बट इफ दोनों ही, इफ योर टेक्नोलॉजी इज चेंजिंग वेरी फास्ट, मार्केट ग्रोथ इज ऑल्सो वेरी फास्ट, देन व्हाट यू शुड डू? टेक्नोलॉजी बड़ी तेज चेंज होती है, मार्केट बड़ी तेज चेंज होती है, then R&D expertise should be obtained through acquisition of a well-established firm in the industry. This is very important. What is it saying? This says कि if market is also growing very quickly and technology is also changing very quickly, ना तो आप in-house करो, ना तो आप outsource करो. Don't go for in-house. Don't go for outsource. What you should do? You should just obtain through acquisition. आप किसी expert company को, you just acquire an R&D company itself so that they do it for you, right? Instead of paying them every 3 months because technology बड़ी जल्दी change हो रही है. Instead of paying them, what you do? You acquire a company. You acquire a company which does R&D in your business. What will happen with that? 2 things. अगर आप उसको acquire कर लेंगे, 2 things will happen. First, they will help you with a very quick development, right? And you can focus on your market. आप पैसा खर्च करके मार्केट पे ध्यान दे सकते हो, and they will work on R&D. Your time and effort will not go in R&D. That new company will do it for you, but you buy that company, okay? You buy that company, and you let them do their stuff. You do your business, right? One thing. Second is, now this company आपने खरीद ली. This is doing R&D. You can sell their innovation and technology to other companies, to your competitors also. अभी competition बहुत जल्दी है, market बहुत जल्दी बढ़ रही है, technology is also changing very quickly. Smart तरीका क्या है? You buy a company which does R&D, use their R&D, also sell their R&D to your competition, sell their R&D to some other people in the industry, उससे भी पैसा कमा लो, because technology बहुत जल्दी change हो रही है, market grow कर रही है, so they would also want services from outside. You buy that company and become their outsource partner in R&D also. एक separate company बनाई, उसकी service भी ले लेंगे, हमें तो सस्ती पड़ गई, and we can sell their R&D to our competitors and others in the industry because market is growing fast, technology is growing fast. We can sell that technology to others because उनको भी जरूरत है. They also need latest innovation. We will sell our innovation and make money from there as well. That is a business strategy. That is an R&D strategy, right? Now you understand how to decide कि खुद करूं या बाहर से करवाऊं, right? Technology fast, growth slow. Technology slow, growth fast. Both slow or both fast, right? Any doubts here? Any doubts? Anything that is not clear about R&D strategy? In the second case, what firm will do, whether they will expertise internally or outsource it with external agencies? Oh, with external agencies. In the second case, it is external agencies. Right? Awesome. Okay, if we sell our R&D, what is the benefit of R&D? Why not, Sonu? Why not? आप R&D बेच दोगे, you use it yourself and you sell it to others also. You're making money from that because technology तो हर 3-6 महीने में बदल रही है. Sonu, think about it. Think about it. Technology is changing in every 6 months, right? So you use that technology and you sell that technology, right? 6 महीने आपने भी यूज करी, कंपटीशन भी यूज करे, 6 महीने बाद तो सबके लिए चेंज हो जानी है. Why not earn money by selling that technology as well, right? 6 months बाद तो सबके लिए चेंज हो जानी है, right? I will also have to do R&D again. अब मैं सिर्फ अपने पे खर्चा करता रहा हूँ हर 6 महीने से अच्छा है. I sell that technology to others also. I will be the first one to use that technology, right? पहले 2 महीने में खुद यूज करूंगा. After 2 महीने बाद I'll sell it to others so that they can also use. Because after 6 months तो कुछ नया आना ही, right? So that is business strategy. Think from a business perspective. ये फायदा है आपका R&D सेल करने. Isn't selling the competitors would diminish your competitive advantage? Same thing, Asta. No, it will not, because technology is changing rapidly. You're forgetting the fact that technology is changing rapidly. So let's say every 6 months it's changing. First 2 months I use it, I become the market leader with an innovation, I sell that technology. Everyone starts doing that, no problem, because I sold it. Usse bhi to I am earning money. I'm getting royalty. Everything they're selling, I'm getting royalty. Unki sales pe also I'm getting royalty. What better business opportunity than this? I'm selling my own product, and from whatever my competitors are selling, I'm getting royalty on that. इससे अच्छा business plan क्या होगा, right? My competitors की sales पे also I am earning money. What is better than this, right? Yes, Asta. Acquiring the company means purchase through equity. So you buy that company, right? Okay. Now let us move on to 3 R&D approaches to implement a strategic decision, right? So 3 major R&D approaches. There are 3 kinds of research and development strategies or implementation strategies, right? What is it? First is you be the leader in innovation. You are the one who is doing innovation. Research and development की 3 चीजें हो सकती हैं. First is that you are the leader. You innovate, you bring something new in the industry. That is, you are the leader. Second is be an innovative imitator. That means someone else has innovated or brought some new technology. You just copy that and sell it in your own fashion. You copy that and sell it in your own fashion, right? Third is be a low cost producer, right? Be a low cost producer. What does this mean? Technology किसी और की, you just reduce the quality and sell it, right? Ab same cheese, you're giving the same quality, you're giving the same technology or innovation with a less quality, right? That is low cost producer बन जाते हैं. So 3 strategies in R&D. उसके लिए भी तो दिमाग लगेगा, right? To reduce the cost of an innovative product requires research and development. Be an innovative imitator. आपको copy करके you have to make it your own. It is not a A to A copy. It's like from A you create B, but it has the same elements of A, right? आप पूरा copy नहीं करते हो. You copy करके you make it your own. That also requires research and development. दिमाग उसमें भी लगता है. And to be the leader, to be the innovator, to create something new, उसमें तो सबसे ज़्यादा दिमाग लगता है, right? That is your biggest R&D, right? All of these three things require R&D, and these are the 3 implementation strategies, right? So be the leader, like Apple. Apple क्या करता है? Apple laptops, your MacBooks and MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, the thinnest laptop and the latest technology or SD card chip, M1 chip, all these chip and technology. Apple is the leader in innovation. They are the one who lead the market with innovation, right? Innovative imitator like HP laptops. Now, HP, what HP does is HP is now trying to copy the Apple products, copy in terms of same level of technology, same level of designing. You will see a lot of HP laptops which are very beautiful now, right? Very small, thin, paper-like laptops. HP is also introducing now. So they are also doing innovation, but they're in own style. वो HP का लैपटॉप दिखता है HP का लैपटॉप है, but it is more like the same technology. They're trying to use the same Apple की technology in their own products. That is an innovative imitator, right? Low cost producer like Acer products. Acer laptop क्या करता है? You will see Acer laptop starting from 23-27,000 rupees. It is using technology. Development हो रही है, thin हो रहा है, touch screen आ रही है touch pad में, और your screens are becoming touch screen. The laptop screen is also touch screen nowadays, right? You can fold your laptop, yoga laptops, right? It is just giving the same thing at a very low cost. क्योंकि इसकी quality में थोड़ा सा कम होता है. Acer laptops are also very costly. That is different thing. Majority student friendly laptops Acer निकालता है, which has all the latest technology. You can fold it. There is touch screen. You can use a pen on the screen, but at a very low cost because the quality is not as good as an Apple or an HP laptop, right? It is good, but also the price is less, right? If the price is less, we will get less quality, which is obviously there, correct? So 3 approaches for an R&D. Any questions on R&D? R&D हमने समझ लिया, there can be 3 implementation strategies, right? Be the innovative, be the innovator, be the leader, be an innovative imitator, or be a low cost producer, right? Any doubts in R&D, ma'ams and sirs? Please type in if you have any doubts. If not, just give me a heads up and we will move on to human resource strategy. If no doubts, even tell me that so that I know that I can move ahead. All clear. Thanks, Asta. Thanks for saying that. It helps. What about others? Everything is clear? No doubts, all clear, all clear. Thanks, Jami. Thanks, Ananya. Thanks, Pooja. Thanks, Asta, for replying to that. Let us quickly go on to human resource strategy, right? The last topic for the chapter. We have just 20 minutes. फटाफट complete हो जाएगा, right? Human resource strategy. Human resource strategy. Very simple. Very simple. It is not just about hiring. जब हम HR की बात करते हैं, when we talk about human resources, right? When we think about human resources, we only think about getting a job or getting talent into the company, right? But it is not just about hiring people. Human resource management is not just about hiring people. It is also a lot about hiring the right people at the right price, right? Right people, right price, retaining them in the company so that they do not leave the company, right? They do not leave the company, create an environment people feel good about working in a company, right? All of this is human resource strategy. आपको right candidate for the right scale. If I want someone in the finance department and I take an electric engineer in a finance department, right? वो तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. Right? If I take an electric engineer in a finance department, तो भैया बहुत ज़्यादा गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. So I will need someone from a finance background in a finance thing. Or if I take a chartered accountant into, let's say, chemical industry में हूँ, and I take a chartered accountant in a plant and tell him that boss, go and do this chemical research and development. Flop हो जाएगा, right? A chartered accountant, you and me, going and doing research and development in chemicals, we're not even going to understand first thing, right? So human resource strategy is finding the right people for the right role at the right price, assuring they have a good culture and ensuring that they feel good working in the company. They add value to the company's function and they retain them. They stay in the company for a long period of time. All of this is human resource strategy, right? Assessing the staffing needs. That means कितने लोग चाहिए, कहाँ पे कितने लोग चाहिए. Assessing the staffing needs. Costs for alternatives, right? क्या लोगों को hire करें या we take external consultants for a particular thing, particular function, or a hire a team myself, right? So when I do R&D wala decision, human resource strategy is also there. Right? I'll come to that in the last slide, right? So cost of these people, cost of alternatives, assessing the staffing needs, and developing a staffing plan for effective implementing the strategies, right? Now CEO says ki bhaiya, I want to market my product throughout India. I can either go and like get services from an external marketing team, or I can create my own marketing team. I can either hire 7-8 people in my marketing team and tell them, boss, I want a dedicated marketing team for my business. So I hire 7-8 people in the marketing department. Or I say, nahi, mere ko zyada, I don't want a lot of dedication, but I just need 1 or 2 times consultancy. Ki kya karna chahiye marketing mein. So you go and get it from an expert outside, expert company, marketing agency outside. Anything. That is human resource strategy. If you decide, if the marketing strategy decides that I want to do it myself, right, and not go to a marketing agency, they come to the human resource department and tell boss, I need 7-8 good people in marketing, right, who have this experience. Go find those people from the market, right? So then human resource, the HR team goes and finds those people, right? So HR department must develop performance incentives that clearly link performance and pay to the strategies. Right? That means you have to give the right compensation to the people as well. Kisi ko bhi saste mein you will hire, they will leave the company very quickly. So you have to develop performance incentives so that people perform good. People, whenever someone is meeting targets or achieving objectives of the company, you pay them in whatever way you can, either through vouchers, even through trips. Some companies give you foreign trips, some company gives you in like local trips or domestic trips. कुछ भेज देते हैं, gifts and certification, awards. In award ceremony, you are recognized. Someone gets bonuses, annual bonus, review bonus, quarterly bonus. All these performance incentives is what human resource strategy revolves around, right? That all the people who are putting in the effort for the company should be rewarded in the right way. That is also human resource strategy. Okay, cool. Key points to consider by HR for achieving competitive advantage. अभी HR से competitive advantage आ सकती है, बिल्कुल आ सकती है. Human resource management से competitive advantage आ सकती है, बिल्कुल आ सकती है. How? If you recruit and select the most competent applicants, right? If you recruit and select the most competent people in the company, employees receive regular training to perform their jobs properly. That means upskill होते हैं, right? People, you're upskilling people. That means they are learning something new every day on the job and they're excited about learning something new. They're upskilling, right? Appraisal and performance to identify. You are rewarding people for their good performance, right? And compensating better than the competitor. You are giving better pay than your competition to increase competency at its workforce. What will happen? What will happen? It will create a competitive advantage. कैसे? How? All these people, ये सारे लोग कहाँ काम करते हैं? ये सारे लोग कहाँ पे काम करते हैं? All these people that you hire, the human resource department is hiring, paying them better than the competitor, helping them, rewarding them for their good performance, or upskilling them, selecting the most competent people. All of these people are working in all the other functions. Marketing function, finance function, logistics, supply chain management लोग काम कर रहे हैं. People are working in production and operations department. People are working in R&D department. If they are performing well, if they're paid well, they will add value to their function. And that value add to the function creates a competitive advantage. Now think about this. If HR policy or HR strategy is so strong that all the functions, all the people are achieving their targets or are achieving more than their targets, that means हर फंक्शन में competitive advantage आ जाएगी. Your supply chain is one of the best in the market. Your finance department is one of the best in the market. Your marketing team is one of the best in the market. your logistics supply chain management team is one of the best in the market, what will happen? Her department, her function may you will have a competitive advantage. And if every function has a competitive advantage, you know you're going to win over competition any single day. You're going to be one of the biggest companies in your industry for sure, right? So human resource management, human resource strategy is very crucial for all other functions, right? And that is why it is so crucial for competitive advantage. Other competitive advantage लाने के लिए you have to have a good human resource strategy for that function, right? That is how, so a human resource management or a strategy adds to competitive advantage, right? Absolutely. Tata's competitive advantage is a lot through human resource management, right? Tata, Wipro, TCS, all these companies have very good human resource management, right? And that is why they are so big. And that's why all the people working there add so much value to the business, right? Okay. Now, three things. The human resource strategy, it is, when I say human resource strategy, there is another thing which is strategic human resource management. Abhi HR human resource strategy mein, there is a very scientific and technical thing which is called SHRM, strategic human resource management, right? Strategic, jahan pe bhi word strategic aa jaye, I'm giving you like out of the syllabus thing. The tip is, wherever you read the word strategic, think of steps, right? Strategy में क्या क्या steps होते हैं? Whenever you read the word strategic किसी भी चीज के आगे, strategic human resource, strategic supply chain, strategic this, strategic decision making, strategic management, strategic this, strategic finance, कहीं भी strategic word अगर आगे आ जाए, think of the 4-5 steps we studied, right? First, you plan, then you execute, then you control, right? You plan, you develop a strategy, you execute, you implement it, and then you control it, right? वो steps हमेशा दिमाग में रखना. Wherever you read the word strategic, just remember those words. You plan, you execute, and then you control. You keep checking कि वो match हो रहा है जो हम चाहते हैं वो हो रहा है या नहीं, right? So keep those steps in mind and apply it to the concept. Your answer will be right in front of you. What is strategic human resource management? Word strategic सामने आ गया है. So that means there will be those steps in human resource. Number 1, pre-selection practice, right? First is planning, then selection practice, executing, post-selection practice, controlling, right? So pre-selection practice including HR planning and job analysis. What kind of people do we need? What are the roles that are selection practice? Then you do a selection practice, right? That means to staff various ways, you actually go and hire people in the organization based on your mission and purpose statement. What kind of company you want to create, you find such people, okay? Now I'll tell you a very good tip. If you go for industrial training, for your articleship, for your jobs, or even for your practice, right? Now think from an HR perspective. Whenever you're going to an organization for an interview, read their website, their vision and mission, read that thing, because they're finding people who match that. If the vision of the company is to be one of the most ethical companies, right? I'm just giving you an example, might be a tip, like out of syllabus tip, might help you. So now think you're going to an interview and the company wants to be the most ethical company. और आप interview में गए and the interviewer asks you, boss, I have 100 crore rupees का माल, I have 100 crore rupees का सामान on the ship which is stuck on the port, right? And the government official is asking for 5 crore rupees as bribe, right? And that 100 crores of raw material is very important for me. And I am the manager. I want that product anyhow in my company. Should I give 5 crores as bribe or not, right? Now, this is kind of an interview question. Now, if you would have studied the vision and purpose statement of the company says, we want to be the most ethical company. We want to be the most ethical company. And the question is, ये interview में. And you say, yes, 100 crore बचाने के लिए 5 crore is just 5%. We can give. We will need that 100 crore, वरना हमारी production रुक जाएगी. As a business strategy, I would want that good in my company anyway, so I'll give 5 crores as bribe. You're immediately out from the hiring process. They will reject you immediately. Why? Why? Because the HR is finding people, who match, right, based on the mission and purpose statement of the company. They're finding people who match with the company, right? कल को they select you and such scenario comes to आप तो bribe देके आ जाओगे. And their vision is to become the most ethical company. So उनका तो vision ही चौपट हो गया आपकी वजह से, right? So this is how a selection practice of an HR is. So next time you get rejected, you'll think, yeah, मैंने तो सारे आंसर ठीक दिए थे, but you did not match with the vision. So read about the company. That is why we say read about the company. Okay. Final one is post-selection practice to maintain and improve the workers' job performance levels, right? Post-selection means वो perform करते हैं. When they start meeting their targets and objectives and they add value to the business, you give them rewards, you give them bonuses, you give them gifts, you give them foreign trips, whatever way, right? You give them benefits, you give them different benefits. That is how post-selection practices function, right? When people start performing good, you start rewarding them. That is post-selection practices, right? Cool. The strategic role of an HR manager, सब कुछ उसी पे होता है. Providing purposeful direction, right? Building a core competency that our company has all the people who are very good at XYZ thing, right? So let's say in Big Fours, you go to a Big Four like KPMG or EY or something, their core competency is well defined, right? Like you will see EY is very good, KPMG is very good in taxation, EY is more good in internal audit, Deloitte is more into consulting and statutory audit, right? PwC is very good in statutory audit. So the HR is building a core competency. The HR department is hiring people so that who are more inclined to taxation. So if you're more inclined to taxation, you will have better jobs in, let's say, KPMG or EY, right? So that is core competency that an HR develops. Creating competitive advantage, we just studied this. Competitive advantage कैसे बनाते हैं? Facilitating change, absolutely. New people keep coming in the organization, old people start leaving the organization. So there is a change. How do you manage that change is also what an HR department or human resource strategy does, right? जो आदमी काम करके 20 साल कंपनी से बाहर जा रहे हैं, and a new person is coming to company, how do you match this entire thing? ये तो बहुत बड़ा gap आ जाएगा, right? There will otherwise every 2-3 years, if a lot of new people are coming into the company, people will feel here ये तो फिर से नई company बन गई. Where is that Tata? So Tata may, even if new people are coming into Tata, they start behaving like working in Tata, right? Because there is a culture, there is an environment in the company, right? Managing workforce diversity. This is like the hottest thing right now in industry, right? Workforce diversity. People from all backgrounds, all races, all genders should be given equal opportunity. That is so important, right? That is what an HR manager, HR strategy is all about. Everyone should get equal opportunity, right? And more diverse. People from different backgrounds, different religions, different castes, different states, different cultures, different genders, everyone should be able to work in that company. Everyone should get equal opportunities of growth, of working, or in any role they want, right? So that is managing workforce diversity. Empowerment of human resources. Empowerment means you find value for yourself. सिर्फ company को value नहीं देनी है. आदमी अपने आप को भी value करना सीखे when you're working in a company. You start valuing your time, you start valuing your skill, you start valuing whatever value add you're giving to the company. You feel empowered कि हाँ, what I'm doing for the company, it is adding value and I'm getting equal rewards. I feel empowered. I have a say in the company, right? Development of work ethics and culture, right? Work ethics and culture. People can talk to anyone. People do not abuse each other. People do not dominate each other. There is a good culture. People talk in nice way. People do write mails in a nice way, right? कोई बदतमीजी नहीं हो रही है. To create a culture that people are not afraid of their managers, but they are very supportive. People are helpful. All this is HR manager's job. All this is human resource strategy के अंदर, right? Development of work ethics and culture as well. Okay, I have a question, and that is the last question. Right, this is the last question, and with that we will also end the chapter. So quickly give answer to this question. Just 1 minute. It's a very straightforward question. Dash means authorizing every member of an organization to take up his or her own destiny, his or her full potential, right? That means what of these things ensure that people can use their full potential and decide what they want to do in the company, right? Which of the following allows people to maximize their potential and do whatever they think they want to do in a company? I want answers, please, quickly. ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है अपने पास. Vibrant culture, empowerment, 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 empowerment. Okay. So the correct answer is workforce diversity. I'll tell you why. Right? I'll tell you why. Empowerment is basically about from a perspective of a company, right? And workforce diversity is all about building your own thing. It is an owning your own identity in the organization, right? That is how it challenges you. That is how it challenges you to build upon your own identity, right? Correct. That is right. Okay. Quickly, let us within next 1 minute. Let us and this is final. Khatam ho gaya. Pura chapter is over. Let us quickly revise in 1 minute what all functional strategies we studied. But very first we had chapter number 4, which talked about corporate level strategies, right? Chapter number 5, which talked about business level strategies, right? Business level strategies. And finally, chapter 6, we talked about functional level strategies, right? Corporate से business आए, business से functional पे आए, right? Within functional level strategies, we studied marketing strategies, the 4 P's plus 3 expanded P's, right? The 7 total P's of marketing. Financial strategy, we studied about acquiring more money, utilizing my money in the best way possible, and valuation of the company, right? Then we talked about production strategy, production and operation strategy, right? How do you produce the best quality? Quality control is the biggest tool in production strategy. Then we talked about logistics strategy or supply chain management, right? This exactly logistics strategy we have supply chain management. We have their logistics strategy, supply chain management is a broad term, logistics is within it, transport and storage, right? Then we have research and development strategy, that is R&D strategy. Okay, this is called R&D strategy, research and development strategy. We talked about it. There can be 3 implementation strategies. You become the innovator. Second is you become the innovative imitator, or you become the low cost producer, And finally, we were talking about human resource strategy, which is around getting the right people at the right price and retaining them, upskilling them, and giving them opportunities, equal opportunities in the company, right? Okay. Any questions, any doubts in the next 1 minute, and then we'll close this, right? The chapter number 6 is also over. Yeah, I'll check it, Charu, Harsh. Probably, I think I might be missing something. I'll check and come back on that. I've taken the feedback, yes. I'm not afraid to say that I'm wrong, all right? I might be 100% wrong on this, but I'll check and come back. Right? Cool, I'll check and come back. No shame in saying I'm wrong. I might be 100% wrong. Sharing opportunities. So, what topic are you talking about? Tell me that in chapter 5. Sharing opportunities, I'm not able to remember that. Could give me the keyword, give me the topic you're talking about. For others, last 1 minute, let us talk about some kuch doubt, confusion. If there is no doubt, very thank you to you. Thanks for being so interactive and joining these sessions, right? We still have chapter 7 and 8. So be active. Thanks, Sushi. Thank you so much. So एक बारी tell me what you want to understand the keyword. For others, any doubts, any clarifications, let's just spend another 1 minute. Awesome, awesome. Absolutely, Pooja. You would really need a reading, right? Study material is the Bible. I keep repeating. ये तो crisp. I'm just explaining the concepts in a very short way, right? So that you understand कि अच्छा होता क्या है. Then you go and study. And I can tell you the questions in the exams are going to come from every single line in the study material, right? यहाँ तो मैं बहुत ऊपर से I'm giving you a concept to make you understand what it is. Exam में, the questions are going to come from every single line. The examiner can pick up any line from anywhere in the book and create a question around it, right? So you have to study the book very carefully. But हाँ, if you know the concept, आप relate कर पाओगे. अच्छा ये इससे relate करते हैं, logic लग जाए, right? If you know the concept, आप logic लगा पाओ. Okay. So I have a question on job also. Great, that's my favorite topic. I love talking about opportunities in jobs. How to get employed in Big Four as they want 4 to 5 years experience. Not necessarily चालू. आप articleship कीजिए Big Four से. If you're not doing articleship, after you become a chartered accountant, sit in campus placement. Campus placement when you have EY coming, you have KPMG, PwC, they come in campus placement. Then you can go with off-campus drives. They have a lot of off-campus drives. You can go on LinkedIn, follow people in Big Fours. They keep posting. There are always opportunities in Big Fours. You can ask people for referrals. It is not that it's not like they ask for 4 or 5 years experience. Rather, Big Fours are the only way that you can get into with very less experience, because they need a lot of people at any given point in time. That is right. How is empowerment different from workforce diversity? Asta, okay, so I'll come to that. So empowerment is more about feeling being heard, right? When I say Asta is very empowered in her house, that means whatever you want to say and do, you're able to convince people. You have a say. People ask for your opinion. You're able to put your opinion in your house, and people accept that. That is empowerment, right? Workforce diversity, your diversity can be like, let's say you have diversity in your friend circle. That means you have friends from Maharashtra, you have friends from Gujarat, you have friends from Northeast, you have friends from North India, Punjab, Haryana, you have friends from South India, right? You have friends from Karnataka, from Tamil Nadu, Kerala. This is diversity. Empowerment is within that friend circle, you are able to put forward your opinion and people accept your opinion. That is empowerment, right? I just did Asta. I just explained differences between empowerment and workforce diversity. Sharing opportunity in generic strategy. So I'm not able to recall that. I'm really not able to recall that. Let me write it down, Sonu. I'm just writing down. I'll refer to this study. Probably abhi ekdam se hit nahi kar raha hai mujhe, right? So what I'll do is join in the next session. I'll solve this question first thing. एक बारी देख लूँगा. I'm not able to recall अभी. So generic strategy में sharing opportunity. Let me read and come back. ठीक है. एक बारी पढ़ लेते हैं. कुछ याद आ जाएगा. अभी याद नहीं आ रहा मुझे. So I'll take this up in the next session first. ठीक है. So whenever you join, just tell me you have joined in the next session and I'll solve this doubt for sure. Chalega? Okay, so let us close the session for today. Let us end this session. I'm already 7 minutes over. Sorry to take an extra time, right? Sure, Priksha. I'll एक check. Probably I might be 100% wrong on the last question. Okay. I might be 100% wrong on the last question. I'll check and confirm on the next class. Okay. No worries. I have no shame in saying I can. So let's check that and come back. I'll be really happy if you guys are right. I'll be really happy. That means you have got the concept right. Okay. Okay. So with that, let's end today's session, and I'll see you in the next one with a correction on that thing and Sonu ka question we'll take. Okay. All right, guys. See you in the next one then.